Okay, we're making really good progress on Katie the Camaro, and we haven't done a Firebird video in quite a while, so we're gonna go ahead and get going on the rocker panel, round up a few tools, and got her up here in the shop close to a good welding machine, and we got to get some of the trim pieces took off. And let's see, got it set up here with the welding machine, and I've got to get this trim panel off here and the sill plate, and gonna have to take the seat out. Don't want to catch that on fire, but yeah, it's needing it. It looks pretty nasty under there. Of course, this little section here I'm gonna do some repair work on, and not worry about this because that will come with a quarter panel. Not only is it rusted, it's dented. Of course, we're gonna have to put a door skin on this too. And I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting this one out. It's kind of nasty up in there too, so I have to probably do a little bit of fixing up in there too. So here we go with that. Well, earlier I was trying to explain what I'm doing here, but I couldn't because it was pouring buckets and you couldn't even hear yourself talk. So all I could do was time lapse. Well, the rain finally stopped, so now I can explain what I've been doing here. I'm repairing this little bottom section of the door jamb, and I've got my brace welded in, And now that this is done, I can go ahead and use my little plasma cutter and hack away at this rocker panel. Man, that little thing works pretty good. We cashed in on some aluminum cans, and that was enough to pay for that thing on eBay, I think it was. And it works good. I wasn't really expecting much, but yeah, it works pretty good for a little itty bitty plasma cutter. But here we go with that. Well now, that little thing kicks butt. Yeah, it don't care. Rust, paint, dirt, it just eats. Yeah, well, I was cutting away at it. Feifel was having a 3-alarm fire in there. Had to hurry up and make a hole so I could reach up in there and put the fire out. Yeah, it was burning pretty good. But I got a major section of it hacked away so I can strip away and grind out all the spot welds. Over up here, I was going to use a grinder. It needs to be a little more precise. I'll probably hack away some more of this with the plasma cutter and a little more of that. But up here, where our other panel comes down and meets it, I'm going to kind of use a grinder and cut it and peel away the spot welds in there. Got to get back up in here, peel away these spot welds. But once we get all that stripped out of there, we got our new piece here. It's auto metal direct. I don't know what to do. It's like, this is the high dollar stuff. GM performance parts. Man, it even comes with the little tabs to hold the wiring harness down. That's fancy. So, a little more cutting away, grinding and smoothing out, and carving away spot welds, and we'll be ready to put that dude up in there. Alrighty then, I have removed every little piece of the old rocker, and some of these spot welds were pretty tough. They're almost 1/2-inch spot welds, and here there was an unbelievable amount of spot welds. Man, somebody up in Pontiac, Michigan about 50 years ago must have been really had his coffee that morning, because he was spot welding the living crap out of that thing. So, over here on our inner rocker, we have a little bit of rot back here by the wheel well, so I've put in a small patch piece. And I got a little rough with it over in some of these areas here, trying to get the spot welds out. So I'm gonna put a couple of pieces in there and weld it up solid. And once I get all those little tiny repairs done, do a little more hammer dolling. This was really bent up here. And later on when I do this quarter, or the half quarter, I guess you could call it, I'm going to repair this inner structure and this inner fender well. And yeah, there's if I can get these rockers in here, then it'll give the whole car some stability. Right now, the only thing holding it together is probably the tunnel and the roof, because these floor pans ain't holding much together. Yeah, they're pretty Swiss cheesed over here too, pretty rotted. But as you can see, there's all of the old strips of spot welds peeled off, and got all them inner structures out of there. So now, once we get this cleaned up, get some etching primer in here and weld through primer on these spots, we can go ahead and start putting in the new stuff. Alrighty. Been working on this here for most of the week, and I got the rocker panel pretty well fitted up with the assistance of the little mini floor jack, and seems like this side seemed to fit a little bit better than the other side. And of course I'm just dry fitting it. I ain't got my etching primer and stuff on the inside yet, but a little bit of tweaking here and there, and I think it's gonna fit pretty good. How do you like the way that looks?
It looks really good.
Okay. You gonna help me paint it?
Sure, why not?
Okay. Gotta mask off where the welding goes and do etching primer and then weld through primer, and I'll be ready to start getting this thing welded in. Okay. Whoa.
Oh, okay.
All out of there.
Oh, wow. You got it all sanded down, all ready to go.
Yeah. We just gotta mask off here and here, up in here, the areas where it's gonna get welded, and then we can put the etching primer in there.
Nice.
So you ready to get busy painting and masking?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's go.
Got your scissors? Yeah, top it off. Where'd you put them? Careful. Just the weld spots. We gotta video some more painting. Where'd she go? I think she's in here goofing around. Hey!
Yes.
Why are you goofing around watching TV? Come on! Gotta do some more video. Okay, gonna do coat number 3. I got my holes drilled where I can't access with the spot welder. And these little tabs and some of these little areas in here. And I've got it all scuffed down. And I'm going to go ahead and put the etching primer in the inside. I ain't worried about the outside yet. That can always be painted later, but then I'll go ahead and get the weld through primer in here, and then we can bit it up and tack it and weld it up solid. Make pretty good progress here now. Alrighty, got all my plug welds done, filled in all that Swiss cheese. Got these down under here where I can't access with the little spot welder. Got all these back here, and over here, little tabs. I think everything else I'm going to be able to get with this little spot welder. Got it all ready to go. I'm going to do some spot welding. Once that's done, I think all the welding's done. We just have to clean it up, get some etching primer on there so we don't rust. All right, here we go with that. Alrighty then. Got all my plug welds done back up in here. And spot welded all along here. And spot welded under here. Got my plug welds all cleaned up. Little tabs down here. So, I would say we got us a brand new rocker panel in this. Yeah, it's a lot better off than it was. That way I feel a lot better about cutting out all this floor when we got something here to hold it together, because you can see the leaf spring through there. Yeah, it's not good, but we do have the floor pans, and we got the rear pans on order. And I went ahead and got the outer wheel wells, because yeah, it's gonna be hard to fabricate all that. We'll just replace it with a outer fender well, and that'll give us something solid to put our quarters on. And got a door skin coming, and yeah, it needs it. Where it ain't rusted, it's bent. So yeah, that'll be a lot better off. Go ahead and peel all this off and do a little rust repair on the bottom. Put a new door skin on there, and that'll be a lot better off. So we'll get this scuffed down and get it in some etching primer. So here we go with that. Well, I got her down off the jack stands and put her seat in her, because I'd much rather drive her than push her. She's kind of a heavy old girl. She kind of took apart, but she's still very much alive, so we can drive her. Well, that's pretty much it on this video. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you on our next one.